World famous artist Hunter Biden facing new questions from a couple of Republican senators. These two guys, Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson, ranking members in the Senate. Grassley's on the Committee on the Judiciary, Johnson on the Committee on Investigations. They both have a lot of questions for this fella, Hunter Biden, about his travel records and where he was when he was the son of the vice president of the United States. He was flying all over the place, to France and the Ukraine and even to Kazakhstan, and he had Secret Service protection for those trips, or so we thought. We're going to dig into it further because the senators have a lot of questions about those records. And they sent a letter over to Director Murray. You can see him here, Mr. James Murray, the director of the Secret Service. This letter being drafted on January 18, 2022. They write, "Dear Director Murray, we write to inform you today about a Secret Service record involving Hunter Biden and the use of his government-sponsored travel while he conducted private business. We previously requested that the U.S. Secret Service provide all the records among and between U.S. Secret Service, Hunter Biden, Katie Dodge, or Joan Mayer regarding Hunter Biden's travel while his father was vice president." And you can see that they're referencing this letter that they sent back down here in footnote number 1 on October 20th. So they sent a letter over there. Ron Johnson sent this to the Committee of the Homeland Secretary Government Affairs Committee, over to James Murray, saying, hey, we want this stuff. To date, the U.S. Secret Service has produced 259 pages of documents pursuant to our requests, and we are going to look through these. It's a lot of documents, but there's a couple different sections in this entire document dump that are interesting and pertinent, and so we'll spend some time going through them. They say that in those documents, we have serious concern about the production of what you have sent over. And you can see this came over, it looks like Special Agent in Charge Benjamin Kramer sent this back over sometime around June 2021. And so, okay, so they got some records. They said, hey, Secret Service, we want some records about Hunter Biden, who he was with, where he was traveling around. You're a government entity. You provided protection for him. You've got records, right? Send those over to us. Well, they did. And here's what they look like. You can see that a couple things are going to stand out here. Number one, of course, are these big redaction boxes. These are all Freedom of Information Act sort of redactions. B6, confidential, personal, private information. B7, we've got B7E, right? These are different legal statutes that justify why this box can be removed. But what we're looking at here is an email from, VPD, right? So this is somebody from the Secret Service to Hunter Biden to discuss something, and to somebody else at the ussecretservice.dhs.gov, copied somebody else. Don't know who that is, okay? Now, this was emailed back on 2009, February 10th, 2009, so a long time ago, and Hunter Biden is in this email chain. So it says from Hunter Biden, that email address is redacted. February 10th, 2009, B6, somebody's first name. So, John, could you please change the return date from 11 to 1 p.m. arriving DC at 3:40, right? Hunter is sending this email to somebody telling them, I'm going to be modifying my travel plans. So make sure that I have protection as this goes on. And a lot of these emails are just like this. This is somebody from Seneca Global Advisors, who was where he was working. This is sort of that company that was getting paid all sorts of, monies for all sorts of interesting consulting gigs. But they're talking, Rosemont Seneca Global Advisors here is helping interface with the Secret Service. And so they're saying this evening he's going to be staying at this location. And so he returns to DC on 2/12, departing at 12 p.m., arriving in DC 2:49. All right, so the Secret Service can keep tabs on him and follow him around. Somebody says, okay, no problem. I'll make sure this happens. You can see this is another email chain from February 10th, 2009. Thanks, John. Amtrak asked if John is traveling with me, blank and blank. He makes sure that is known to the conductor, okay, so that we know who's coming on this train. I assume you guys have a normal protocol for this. Talk to the train people to make sure that they know that somebody and so is going to be on this thing. I am sure that the only reason Amtrak contacted me directly about this is because I'm on the board and they know my phone number. But this is from Hunter Biden to somebody at the Secret Service, right? No problem. I'm going to make sure this happens. Enjoy the trip. Secret Service emails back and forth. Change the return date. Hunter is going to be traveling. He departs Union Station, 9 a.m., arrives New York, 11:45. That evening, he's staying over here. Hunter sends this email Thursday, February 12th. Don't know who it's going to. Somebody over at VPD says subject tomorrow. Somebody at the Secret Service says, okay, hey, John and Lou, I'm going to go up to Wilmington at 9 a.m. train tomorrow, pick up a car, and then drive right back to D.C. I have a ride from train station to the dealership. If someone comes up with me, they can drive back with me if that makes it easier. Also, not sure if John told you, but we decided last minute to spend the weekend, leave at 9 a.m. train Saturday and 12, return Monday. All right, so just kind of generic emails about what he's doing and where he's going. And so a lot of it's not all that interesting. Let's take a look at a couple more. Here, email from so-and-so at the Secret Service to Hunter Biden. Hunter, we're going to meet you at the lounge for your trip. So-and-so is going to meet you. He will travel with you until you reach your destination, return to WDC. He can be contacted at so-and-so. So-and-so will contact you on Friday and escort the family back to DC. Then he's going to need to arrange a trip up until that time, right? More conversations back and forth. Nothing too interesting here. Let's see. Is so-and-so and so-and-so going is another question. So-and-so and so will go with back and forth with blank, but I'm going to have to drive there, so I will have to drive back on my own. Now, this is Hunter Biden having a conversation with the Secret Service saying that basically you're not coming back with me, right? Also, so-and-so in Baltimore has moved to Sunday, same time, same place. Okay, you can come with me there, but then I'm coming back on my own. I understand you're going to be attending that on this evening. Do you plan to leave and travel back on your own? Yes, I do. We start to see sort of a pattern about this. We see another Amtrak ticket here. He's got business class tickets for 2014. And you're going to notice that we kind of jumped quickly from 2009 in some of these emails right up to 2014. And this is going to be something that these senators are concerned about. They're saying, hey, wait a minute. Where'd all these records go? You know, why are we missing full years? Now you see this now. We have an interesting trip coming up. Now this is the Ukraine. This is back in May 9th, 2014. Have some emails back and forth. Can you check on this with Hunter? One phone call per family required by 5/15. They talk about dates, July 10th through the 15th. Somebody says, thanks for the heads up. I'll put it on my calendar. Also, due to all the happenings in Ukraine, any details you get would be greatly appreciated when you get them. Okay, so back in 2014, a lot of problems in Ukraine. And here we're in 2022, a lot of problems in Ukraine. So interesting. Now, both times the Bidens have been around in both of these locations. Curious. So the senators now, right, now that we have seen what they have gotten, right, the senators, that's what they got. Redactions, missing years, all sorts of problems with data. They say, let's identify why we're so upset. They say, first, the Secret Service production contains Freedom of Information Act redactions, which don't apply to Congress, and they shouldn't be applied to this. These inappropriate redactions impede our office's ability to understand the full scope of the interactions between Hunter Biden, his associates, and the Secret Service. For example, in applying the redactions, Secret Service hid the names and other information contained in email conversations about Hunter without any reason. Specifically, we're going to look at these emails. In a May 23, 2014 chain, redacted individual on then Vice President Biden's detail, VPD, right, emailed a redacted individual at Hunter Biden's business, Rosemont Seneca Partners, about Hunter Biden's upcoming travel plans from Paris to France to Kazakhstan. We're going to look at this. From Paris, France to Kazakhstan, same country. The VPD asked the individual at Rosemont Seneca Partners, quote, if there will be room on the private flight for at least redacted of our guys, preferably redacted, would greatly appreciate it. We're going to look at that email. Secret Service accompanies Hunter to Paris. Then he takes a private flight to Kazakhstan. There's an email from Secret Service saying it'd be nice if some of our guys got on that plane. But the Secret Service records that we previously made public show that Hunter Biden was in Paris, France from May 24th to June 7th, 2014, while a protectee. And the USS records, Secret Service, do not show whether he actually traveled to Kazakhstan in May or June. So we're trying to figure out whether he did or not. And you can see they're citing all of these emails. Vice presidential detail is going to be this VPD. You can see there's info needed. Email from May 23rd, 2014 says, thanks, blank. I see Hunter is departing from Kazakhstan to come back to the U.S. You have any info on his flight from Paris to Kazakhstan? Also, You have an itinerary for Paris or Kazakhstan? We're the vice presidential detail. We got to protect his son. Got to know where he's at. Can you help with that? He says, well, we're going to be flying on United Airlines, departing Washington Dulles, arriving in Paris CDG Charles de Gaulle Wednesday, May 28th. Below listed agents traveling with Hunter Biden, who does not have a flight booked. As such, our agents do not have flight books. Agents traveling with him will likely leave on the evening of Wednesday. Follow up the morning of May 29th. Agents traveling with Hunter are as follows. Big list of agents. Secret Service agents. All want to be joining him because he's the vice president's son. And they need the information urgently. So they got him over. It says the embassy needs to draft a diplomatic note to the French, and they need to do that before the end of the day. Whenever he's coming. Arrival departure information needs to be noted as well. Now, this is where you can see here. We start to have some interesting questions. While staying in Paris, he's only going to blank at the blank where he is staying. He's only going to do something at the something where he is staying. Don't know what it is. Rosemont Seneca Partners, whoever his assistant is writing, I will let you know whatever that is as soon as I can. You can see it says, blank, what I know is that they are flying private now from Paris to Kazakhstan. I've reached out to the gentleman who helped me, but with the time difference, I don't expect to hear from him until tomorrow at the air list. I do not know where he is staying. Secret Service says, well, we need to know that because we're the vice presidential detail now, and we've got to protect the vice president's son. So he says, or she says, awesome. Thank you for getting back to me so quickly. If you can find out from Hunter, from the gentleman, how many days Hunter plans to be in Kazakhstan, and if there will be room on the private flight for at least blank of our guys, preferably blank, we would greatly appreciate it. Right? How many? 3 of our guys, preferably 4. 5 of our guys, preferably 6. We would greatly appreciate it since we're going into Kazakhstan. We don't get much out of that, right? I know they're flying private. I've reached out to the gentleman. Do you have an itinerary? All of this we've already covered. June 27 to 28. Hunter has a new flight now to New York. Same year, back in June. He had me cancel the Hilton Hotel reservation, saying he's staying somewhere else and don't know yet. So private flights, Secret Service has him coming back now on June 20th, 2014, but he went over there in May. So we're trying to figure out, did he actually go to Kazakhstan? We don't know. Shortly thereafter, then in 2015, he gets a new assistant. Hi, Secret Service. I'm Hunter Biden's new assistant. So-and-so is no longer with the firm. I'm still your point. Hope you're still the point of contact for this information. Hunter now is traveling to so-and-so to Norway. Below is the information. He's currently in Chicago. I'll be booking flights back. Let me know if we can help. Delta, blah, blah, blah. So the senators continue writing. They say, second, in addition to some of these problems that we can't dig into about, we want to find out more about this Kazakhstan trip. We can't see anything about it. In addition to that problem, they say, second, we determined that even though Hunter was a USS protectee from January 2009 through July 2014, U.S. Secret Service did not produce any communications regarding his travel for the years of 2010, 2011, and 2013. And you can see sort of what I did as I went through this. As I said, it's 259 pages. It's a lot. But you can see there are excerpts from different emails. This one from 2009, this one from 2012, but nothing from 13, 11, or 10. But he was a protectee then. So the Secret Service's lack of communications during these years raises questions, especially given the Secret Service travel records show that Hunter Biden made trips to China and other destinations around the world, like Russia, Italy, Spain, and Mexico. So were you involved in that? Yes or no? You can see here now Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson are asking, they're telling the Secret Service, in order to better understand the Secret Service communications with Hunter Biden and his associates while his father was VP, we need these following documents. Those 259 pages, we need those unredacted. So get all those boxes out of there. Let us see what's going on. An explanation for why the U.S. Secret Service didn't give us the years of 2010, 11, and 13. Please provide this information no later than January 26th. Signed off on by Chuck Grassley from Iowa and Ron Johnson from Alabama. 2 senators working hard to try to get to the bottom of Hunter Biden, the artist, who is producing very nice artwork there, selling them for a lot of money. And so a lot of people have questions about some of those activities. The vice president's son, we've heard a lot about Burisma and the Ukraine, all sorts of interesting videos and photographs and stories coming out about Hunter Biden. And the Secret Service was responsible for keeping him safe. Wouldn't they keep pretty good tabs on the vice president's son? One would think. So the question is, well, where are those other records for those other years? And who is behind those big white redaction boxes? Hopefully we find out. Hopefully the Secret Service provides those records over to these senators and we can take a look at them. I hope that you stick around and join us for when those documents come out. We also have a live show. I'd love for you to check that out as well. And it's best if you subscribe so that you don't ever miss an episode. You hit that notification bell, you come on back, and you join in on the fun. I'd love to have you. So I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching.